You are listening to the Booktrospective Podcast, a podcast for all types of books. And even though we read all types of books across all different types of genres, we want to give a disclaimer. Many of our books and a lot of our content sometimes is intended for mature audiences. And we don't believe in censorship, but we do want our listeners to have the opportunity to decide if our episode or podcast is good for them. So with that, let's get into the episode. Hey, it's Dominique.
And Keely.
And you are listening to Booktrospective. And this week we are covering Once Upon a Time in Dollywood by Ashley Jordan.
Yes.
And this is our 100th episode.
Whoop whoop.
Woo! Hush, watch. We won't talk about that much. I think we can also include that in our November. Our next episode is our November chit chat. So we'll do all that stuff. But we have made it to 100, so yay!
Woohoo!
Big celebrations there. Keely, how's your week going?
My week has been fine.
Yeah.
Really uneventful.
It's only Tuesday.
Yeah.
It's still early.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about you?
Not much. Working. I like working from home. I guess I started a job. I quit a job. Didn't like that job. Other than that, not much. Somebody has turned the heat off in Indiana.
Oh, God.
It is like 40 degrees. I don't know. It's probably not 40, but it's cold out there.
It's too cold.
Yeah, like,
I mean, I like a little bit of a chill, but
yesterday was okay.
It went from freaking hot to
cold.
Super cold. Like, there was no in between.
And it's wet today, too.
Yeah.
It's just, ugh.
Like, get me a few good weeks of 60 degrees.
Yeah. Yesterday was, like, perfect. The sun was out. It was, like, a little chill, but it was cool. Like, a light jacket. It was all right. A shacket.
Like, I'm not ready for coats yet.
I'm not. I had to put my North Face out. I almost put boots on. But those require more work than slipping my feet into shoes, and I'm lazy, so I declined. But I was close. I did put on socks.
Yeah, I went out earlier, and I just had sandals, no socks, and I'm like, oh.
Yeah, no. I told Keely, I was yelling at the chickens, like, hurry up! I gotta get out of here. It's cold. I gotta finish putting their plastic and stuff up, so hopefully it won't be so cold out there. I mean, they're fine. They're chickens, but I'm not. So, okay. Well, this, we'll do the blurb and stuff, but obviously our bonus episode actually is out today, the day we're recording this, but was out last Wednesday if you have not listened to it. So obviously if you're going to listen to this episode in entirety and listen to spoilers, you should also go back and listen to the author interview with Ashley last week. We did a spoiler and spoiler-free segments on that episode as well, because kind of like with Truth Is, we probably won't have a lot to say in our wrap-up on this episode just because we kind of did all of that in our author interview. But yeah, we read this book for book club. I don't think there were any bad comments about it. This is her debut.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, this is her debut book. And yeah, okay. So Keely, the blurb.
Yes, the blurb.
Sounds like blah,
Did we
blah,
do
blah.
the... I did not say blah, blah, blah. Are we doing the question first or the blurb first?
Oh, yeah. I forgot Keely's supposed to be asking me questions.
Okay, I didn't remember what order it went in.
Yes, that's part of our how is your week.
So, what is one place you would go to get peace and quiet when you desperately need to get away from everything and everyone?
Peace and quiet. That means I can't take Carter with me.
And I just came up with a question, so I don't even know my answer yet.
I mean, I guess there's a lot of places. I would say the Shed. That's close and local, but like also I get bothered out there, so not really. So then I guess like if I could just go anywhere, I wouldn't go too secluded. Like I'm not gonna be like a log cabin like in this book because I need. That's not very secluded, but I don't like to be in the woods.
Yeah.
Like I would probably do like an Airbnb, but still be like in a city. I want to hear people around me, just not talking to me. So
right, because if you are in a secluded area and you hear people around you, that's a little scary.
Yeah, that's a little sketchy. So.
Just a little bit.
Yeah.
I'd say my go-to has been when I needed peace and quiet. My car in like a McDonald's parking lot or something. I've done that quite often. But I mean, I guess I could do the bookstore, but I feel like if I'm here, I need to work.
Yeah. I was saying I could to the office, but I don't really want to go to the office.
Yeah.
That's not really where I want to go. Well, I'm not working, so yeah, no. Okay. Now the blurb.
The blurb. A playwright must grapple with her difficult year and writer's block while falling for the single dad living next door in this emotional debut from Ashley Jordan. Eve Ambrose is maybe a rising star playwright, but her personal life is falling apart. Desperate for a fresh start, she breaks up with her fiancé, cuts off her parents, and heads to the Tennessee mountains. But keeping up the lie that she's just on a writing retreat becomes near impossible when faced with a well-meaning townspeople and a neighbor who is just as much baggage as she has. Coming off of a contentious custody battle, Jamie Gallagher is reconstructing what his life looks like as a single dad, and spending more days at his cabin makes his new free time a little less empty, especially when he meets the beautiful and prickly woman next door. The last thing he needs is a new romance to shake up his family dynamics even more, but there's something about Eve. What starts out as a fling quickly becomes more serious, and it's not long before Eve is running scared once again. She's loved and lost in every way possible, and risking it one more time could finally break her. But like the fireflies that fill the mountains around them, Jamie's and Eve's lives keep falling into sync. A fairy tale ending could be in the cards, but only if the new couple can get out of their heads and put their hearts first.
So, if you could describe this book in one word, what would you say?
I would say healing.
She took my word. Let's see. I have to come up with another word now. There's like a word there, but I can't. It's not that. To the Googles.
Word Hippo is my best friend. They do tons of synonyms.
I need the synonyms. Maybe like reclamation, like reclaiming. Something like that. That's a good one. I like that one. Okay. So, Eve is, I can't remember, how old are they? Are they in their 30s? Or are they in their 20s?
I think they may be late 20s.
Yeah, they're not like 21. They're not.
Maybe like late 20s, early 30s-ish.
Yeah, so she's from New York. She's a budding playwright, but she comes from like, she has a little bit of a tragic backstory. She has a very strained relationship with her parents, especially her mom. And her grandmother has passed away like in the last year and left her a cabin in Tennessee. So she decides to go there, just like decides like, hey, fiance, don't want to be with you anymore. And just like up and leaves and goes down there to work on her play. She's very like, I like it. I mean, like she's like mean, but it's like the relationships where like it's a grumpy sunshine kind of thing. So she gets down there. I mean, she is working through she's working through, but not working through her problems. She needs therapy, which eventually she will get to. But she runs into Jamie, who happens to he manages the grass and stuff at her grandma's cabin. Obviously, he knew her grandma. He does it ever say what he does? He's got money.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's like construction. I don't know, but he has a cabin, but he also has like a house somewhere else because he has.
Yeah. Yes. He does like woodworking.
Okay. So, and he has, I can't remember where he is it Knoxville, where he normally is at?
Something like
that. And so his son is 10. He's basically his ex cheated on him. He's a very good guy, almost too good of a guy, almost to the point of walkover.
Yeah.
And he still is a good guy to his ex, really wants to be a good dad. and of course they run into each other. Eve is very resistant because that's not why she's here, but she also really struggles with intimacy. Even when they start to become a thing, she really struggles with like being intimate in sex, definitely emotional intimacy. And this whole story is really like a hot and cold. Mostly because of her, even though Jamie does have his own things that he needs to work through. They, you know, kind of get together, unfortunately split, get back together, and then split again in agreement. And it really kind of gets to the point where, like, it's not like, do we want these characters to be together? Yes, but there's so much more self-discovery in this book that it's almost okay that they aren't at points.
Yeah.
And they both really are kind of following their own path to really become the best of themselves. And whether they do or do not get back together is a bonus in this book. So yeah, that's kind of just a generalized summary of this. Triggers?
Let's see.
I know there's...
Okay. Miscarriage, sexual content, infertility, toxic relationship, religious bigotry, panic attacks / disorders, pregnancy, infidelity, grief, yeah.
Okay. All right. So without further ado, if you have not read this and do not wish to be spoiled, you can pause here and come back later. Otherwise, we are going to jump right into it. I don't have detailed notes, but we've read this fairly recently, so there's that. So we start with Eve, pretty much kind of like having dinner with her family, her parents, and her fiance, and does not want to be around any of those people. Essentially ends in her like just cold shouldering him and is basically like, yeah, I don't want to do this anymore. His name is Leo. He's like completely thrown off. Something I didn't realize until very later in the book is Leo's white, Eve is black. Like I did not like, it never was like expressed. It may or may not matter, but I just found it to be interesting. But yeah, so she kind of like completely just cold shoulders him and like packs up and goes down to Tennessee. Interesting thing about Tennessee, it was her grandma's cabin. Her grandma passed away like a year ago and left it to her. But she kind of has a trauma bond with it because when she was a teenager, her mom specifically sent her there because she got pregnant and was forced to give her baby up for adoption. And so she had to live through her pregnancy down there. And so throughout this entire book, she is like thinking about that. This book doesn't like center around that. Like she's not going to find her adopted son. I think it's a son. Yes. Or anything like that. But there's lots of that throughout the whole book. So she's going back to this place, and this cabin is dusty. No one's been there. Electricity's off. There's no food. All of that. So she gets there. She drives down. Mind you, I will say they drive from New York to Tennessee in this book like it's Indianapolis to Chicago. Yeah. And I'm like, that's like a good, gotta be, how far is that? I actually need to know. How far is that? I'm pretty sure I looked it up in book club and I forgot. Let's see. Seaverville, because they're pretty much a Seaverville, which is the same thing as Gatlinburg and X, Y, and Z, to New York City. Load. That's an 12-hour drive. Okay. They drive like it's from Indy to Chicago, which is a 4-hour drive. But she gets down there, like she starts kind of getting settled, which settling for her is like eating ravioli from a can, essentially. Like she's not like getting meals or anything. Yeah. And introduced to Jamie. Jamie is introduced in this book by leaving court where he is granted full custody of his to keep full custody of his son. His ex-wife was trying to get custody, but they got a divorce because she was cheating. He literally came home and found the man in his house. Jamie is actually still very cool about this whole situation because the man is still around, and they co-parent together, and she is also like very pregnant by this man as well. And I can't remember, does Jamie want more kids? Isn't there something there about...
Honestly, I'm not sure.
I feel like there's something there. I can't remember either. I feel like there's something there about her not wanting more kids or something. I don't know. I feel like there's something too tied to this pregnancy. But nevertheless, the lady's pregnant by another man. Also, is still living in their house that Jamie is paying for. Because he's a nice guy. So anyways, he goes to court. He gets that. I don't remember what the little boy's name is. But he goes back to the cabin because he doesn't live in the cabin, but he stays there often. That's like his away. And he goes and cuts the grass at Eve's grandmother's cabin because he, knew her and knew she passed away. So Eve comes out and like, hello, what do you want? Why is there a strange white man here? And like he's kind of like, okay, so he's asking like, who are you? Obviously it like gives like the like Karen, like, why are you here? But it's really not that, but obviously it's perceived as that. And so yeah, so then quickly it turns into like, can I get you like dinner? Can I bring food up to you? Eve's like, hell no, go away. Like, no. I love a woman who's mean to her man. Like, I just love that. And like just stays mean to her man. Nevertheless, he ends up bringing food because he knows that there's nothing to eat in this house. And then there's like another encounter, like they go to the store and they run to each other at the store. And I can't remember what happened. She gets like... She
has a panic attack
at the store.
Her down.
Yeah, I can't... What causes it though? Is it because she saw someone she knew? Or someone that knew her?
Maybe because the cashier was... I think it's because the cashier, was friends with her grandma or something.
Yeah, something like that, and it caused her to have a panic attack.
And I think she may have brought up
the baby.
The baby.
Yes. So it causes her to have a panic attack. So he calms her down. So Jamie starts like weaseling his way in there or whatever. So this goes on. They start to become intimate, but Eve is very like no, like oral intercourse, like this is straight, like just wham bam, thank you ma'am. Like she's not comfortable with that. She very much has not. And here, like it's I don't know that she's ever allowed anyone to do that with her. So she's very uncomfortable with it because she's never allowed it. But it's all stems from her and this adopted child, which also goes back to her writing this play, which is essentially about her put in the situation to give this baby up for adoption. Like it's all connected. And she has tried and has, to talk to her mom and her dad. And her dad is always kind of like, it's okay, like whatever. But her mom's like, nope, not hearing it, shut you down, not talking about that. You're crazy, basically. Like, we love you, we did everything for you, real harsh. So obviously Jamie ends up bringing up the fact that he has a child, and Eve wants absolutely nothing to do with that. She's like, that's good for you. I don't want any parts of that. This is a fling. This is not anything more than that. Whatever. I feel like that just like continues to go on for like a period of time. There's just like a lot of them like hooking up, having dinner, like it's cute. So it does get to the point, it gets to Thanksgiving. Because I believe this is like, she goes down there in July or August. So it gets to be close to Thanksgiving. And this time, like, her Stella is her, what do you call her? Manager? Is that what you would call her?
Her agent.
It's like she's checking on her, doing those things. Her, I can't remember if her play is done or not because like it starts to, things are gonna be going good back home. Like she's gonna have to go home at some point. So we're getting close to Thanksgiving and
she's on a deadline.
Yes. And Jamie is also like, Jamie has a brother. His brother's gay.
Yes. Casey, I think.
Casey. They're gonna have Thanksgiving, and who invites his mom? Is it Casey, or is it the baby mama?
I think it may be Casey.
Because his mom basically did the similar thing as to what his ex did. Like, she kind of just left. And now she's back, and she's also back with his dad, and he's having a hard time with that because obviously he has not a good history with women.
Got some mommy issues.
He's got mommy issues. Now he's got baby mommy issues. And now he's got Eve issues because he's obviously, starting to develop feelings for Eve. They know that that's not a real relationship, whatever that is. So they go to dinner. They all hate the baby mama. Also, she brings her man, which again, Jamie's better than anybody else because there's absolutely no way that I would ever be okay with you. There's absolutely no way I would ever
I wouldn't have been okay with her.
She wouldn't come. Like, I don't want her to come. Like, I co-parent. There's no way we're ever sitting down for a family dinner. I'm sorry. That just is the facts of the matter.
Yeah.
So shout out to the parents who are able to do that, because I'm not that big of a person. So that goes crazy. Obviously, he's like pissed at his mom. Doesn't want anything to do with her. Just the whole thing is a hot mess. I can't remember how Eve ends up at his house though. Because that's how she gets introduced to his son, whose name is...
I know she decided to go up there, but, like, I'm trying to figure out, like, trying to remember why she decided to go up there. Because he invited her, I think, and she's like, yeah, absolutely not.
Yeah, because she didn't want to cross those lines and those boundaries and all of that. Let me see. Anyways, nevertheless. So, Eve ends up at Jamie's house. This is where she realizes Jamie has, like, money, too. Because, like, he's got, like, a really nice house. So, Jamie has his house. He has the cabin. And he's still paying for the ex's house.
Yeah.
Where her and her man live. And she is very pregnant. So, she ends up, she's there or whatever. I can't remember what happened to Jamie. Jamie has to go somewhere in the morning. And she ends up in the bathroom. And the kid comes in. Like, he's in the room and she's in the bathroom. And she's like... Again, having a panic attack. Like, I don't want anything to do with this kid. Like, and again, as a reader, you're like, I don't want her to cross this line either, because she's not serious about this.
Right.
Or she doesn't recognize that she's serious about this yet. And so I'm all about, like, don't play with the kid if you're not serious about this. So anyway, so she ends up, she does meet the son, and things go really well. So from there, things are actually going great. Like, they're kind of like, this is a relationship. You know, it's the three of them now. They're kind of like, they're working through this. And they make plans for New Year's Eve. So Eve realizes she has to go home because her play is going to be put on, does it get put on Broadway? It's
eventually, I think.
But so. It's like, it's going in the right direction. Like, she meets her deadline. Things are going good. But she has to go home. She needs to handle some things. And she's like, I'm going to meet you guys in Paris, because Jamie has told his son they're going to go to Paris, and yada, yada, yada. And I immediately was like, no. Because once you're out of... And Jamie also is kind of like, okay. So, of course, she goes home, and she does not make it to Paris. She calls, and she's like, I'm not going to make it. And Jamie's like, I'm sorry, what? And she's like, you know, she just has some things to handle. And she did have things to handle. Mm-hmm. But it's just like, like, come on, Eve. And then I think this is the point when she runs into Leo again. Yeah. And she finds out, like, he's pissed at her. Rightfully so. I mean, Leo really did like Eve. Eve just has emotional issues that she has never worked through. And so it really wasn't fair for him to ever be in a relationship with him. But, like, also, like, he goes away. He's like, he had been texting her. His mom dies. Mm-hmm. Then, like, while she's down, like, all this stuff happens. And then she, like, kind of just shows up because she goes to clear out the apartment with her stuff. And he's just like, and then you just show up here and you're just like, hi, I'm here. Like, yeah, that's kind of fair.
Yeah.
And so, and he kind of never been that way with her. So she's kind of like, what's this about? But, like, that's fair. Like, you can't just keep treating people like that. She does try to talk to her parents, I think, again. That doesn't really go anywhere. And so she ends up taking care of her stuff at home, and then she heads back to Tennessee. And this is where I get a little lost, because her and Jamie get into it again, but I can't remember why. What happens in Tennessee? I also don't remember when they go to Dollywood. There's that, too. When do they go to Dollywood?
They went to Dollywood before.
Did they?
Yes. Yeah. Yes.
Probably. I don't know.
Dang, I got my timelines all mixed up now.
I know, it's hard. They do go to Dollywood at some point, which is hence why the name of the book. They go to Dollywood, which is obviously in Seaverville, and it probably was before, because that's before things got rocky. So that's probably before the New Year's Eve thing. Nevertheless, she goes back to Tennessee, and basically, like, when she told Jamie she wasn't coming, she was kind of like, I need this time. So then she goes back to Tennessee and is trying to reach out to him, and he basically now is cold shouldering her.
Yeah.
And he also is struggling. So now he's, like, kind of struggling back at home, too. And he ends up kind of, like, having a heart-to-heart with his mom. And his mom's kind of like, you know, like, you got to work through your problems. Like, you can't, like...
Just shut everybody
out and like just carry this like grief from place to place to place and put it on person to person. He ends up, which I love this 10,000%. He ends up telling his ex she gotta go.
Yep.
And she's like, I mean, but I'm pregnant. And I would have been like, I mean, you have a grown man in the house that you're pregnant by. Right. And he's like, yeah, no, I'm selling the house. You got to go. Like, our son lives with me. I'm paying. Not only are you living in this house, I'm paying for it. Like, no, you gotta go. Get your ish and pack it up. It's time to go. And I love that for him. That's a very healing moment. That's probably my favorite moment in the book. So he takes care of that. So then him and Eve finally do end up coming back together. And they have like a brief like moment of happiness, but they kind of come to this realization of like Jamie's life is in Tennessee. Eve's life is taking off in New York. Neither one of them really wants to or should sacrifice what's going on for the other, because Jamie doesn't want to uproot his entire family and move it to New York. Obviously Eve can't leave New York. Her play is going to end up on Broadway. It is like doing like massive things. It's going great. And they basically decide to kind of just split. Yep. I mean, there's just nothing they can do about it. It's, you know, it was a season. Essentially, this was a season for them, and that's all they get, and they decide that's what it is, and they're both brokenhearted about it. But it is what it is. So they go their separate ways. Jamie's pretty distraught. Eve goes back home. She tries to talk to her parents again, and we get like this complete shift, because it has always been her against her mom, and her dad's kind of been like a buffer. Is this at the end though? Is this then, or is it closer to the end? When her dad just kind of like spazzes on her. I'm trying to think, is this before or after she went to therapy?
I think it's before.
Because that's kind of what leads her into it. That's what I thought.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like she has like this. So it always was kind of like her against her mom. Her dad was kind of like a buffer, like kind of like mild. Well, she goes to talk to him about this again, the adoption thing, and her dad just completely like flips on her. Like, not hearing it, completely takes the mom's side. Like, well, not takes the mom's side, because the mom is actually like open to talking or whatever, and he just like loses it on her, which is like completely surprising, because he and her had always had like kind of the safer relationship, and he completely, it's like he's been harboring this like resentment, because throughout all these years they haven't been talking about it, but he was never upset about it. But it's like he's kind of just been like, leave it alone, and she hasn't, and now he just can't take it anymore, and he just like explodes, which leads to several things. One, her and her mom do begin to work on this thing, and that kind of just finally pushes her over to the edge until she has like a complete meltdown and ends up in therapy, which is where she needed to be all of this time. So Eve ends up in therapy. She starts like working through her problems, and her play is going to be a success. So we go to, the play is gonna, you know, happen. I can't remember if she sends Jamie something or if he just hears about it, but Jamie knows about it too. And I think it's either his mom or his brother are like, you need to go. Like, why are you here? Because you're miserable. Why are you here? Like, you can take your son with, like, it's not the end of the world. Like, you can go there. You don't have to stay in Tennessee. You are going to be fine. So Eve is like all dolled up. It's like they do the play, and then they do like the after party, whatever. She's there. Jamie surprises her, and he's basically like, I'm here, and me and my son are going to need somewhere to stay. And they are going to try to resume their relationship. And that's how it ends.
So what'd you rate the book?
I need to look. Let's see.
I always, like, I struggle rating. I always rate the book higher to begin with, and then after I've had time to actually let it settle and process, I'm like, okay, probably should have, not necessarily should have been lower, but I did adjust mine. So I rated it 4.25. 4.25. Ooh, this one's hard. 4.25 therapy sessions.
Okay. I gave it a 3.5 therapy sessions. Only because I've already explained this, and I explained it to her because this was initially marketed as a romance, which it is not. It is, but it's not. That's really not the primary thing, and so, like, it just wasn't what I was expecting. I really liked the themes and the stuff in the book. It's just, it wasn't what I was expecting, so I was just kind of thrown off. I didn't love the narrators on this book either, especially, like, Jamie. Jamie sounds so old in this book, like, if you listen to the audiobook, and I just, like, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just not, I don't know. It's not, I don't like it. So that kind of threw me off. But I do enjoy this book. I just, yeah, I don't know. I like, actually, that it's not a romance. Like, I like that nobody's, like, really sacrificing anything and, like, they come to these things on their own. There is, like, romantic parts in those things, but they're not the highlight of the book. So, yeah, no, I really enjoy that. But otherwise, you know, I support. Okay. Do we have reviews?
We have reviews. So, scroll through and try to find one that's not 15 paragraphs long. So let's switch it up and go with a 1-star review to start off with, because that's the first thing I found. 1 star, I absolutely hated this book.
Oh. I
will never again trust a Reese Witherspoon opinion on books. The main characters were so obnoxiously introspective, it really made me sick. The graphic sex depictions were gross and unnecessary. This book was a waste of money and time. Characters were thrown in for certain effects, and it was disgusting. I didn't even want to give 1 star, and this author needs a different profession. Wow, that is
yikes.
Harsh.
That was rough. Oh my God, why?
Jesus.
Wow. Just DNF it if you don't like it.
Right.
They were introspective. That's what I liked about it. So
yeah, same.
Oh my gosh. Lighten the mood around here.
Let's hit up a 5-star now.
Whoa.
5 stars, that's not like so freaking long. Okay. Okay. 5 stars. When I saw Dollywood in the title, I had to read it twice. Surely it was a typo and they meant Hollywood. I loved how the setting mainly takes place in East and Middle Tennessee. It was fun seeing my city and surrounding areas mentioned. This book was more than just a romance. It was about healing and grief. I do recommend checking the triggers before diving in. I loved how Eve's journey to happiness wasn't all glitter and gold. It was rugged and honest as we break down her hurtful past. I like how Jamie falls into her life right when she decides to seclude herself from her life struggles by staying in Gatlinburg. He's her escape, but it pushes her to realize the bigger steps she must take to really live, love herself, and move forward. Such a beautiful story that is also deep and emotional. Even within that, there are a few laughs and things I wasn't expecting to happen during Eve's journey. I'm looking forward to reading more from Ashley Jordan, being that this is her debut. Extra points from me because she thanks Beyonce in her acknowledgments.
Okay. Yeah, no. Much better.
Yeah. Definitely lightened the mood there.
Yeah. Jeez Louise. Okay. All right. Well, No, I enjoyed it. Congratulations on a debut. And I think she is on contract for another book, so there will be more coming.
Yeah, it was a nice read. I really loved it.
Yeah.
I loved the healing journey. Yeah, I definitely enjoyed the romance, but the healing, the therapy.
Yeah, that's very good.
You know, that was awesome.
Those are good for this book. Yeah, no. Okay. Well, our next episode will be episode 101. So we'll do our November chit chat. We'll talk about being at 100 episodes, some bookish hot topic type things. All of that will be our next episode. And then I'm trying to get just to next month for like a preview of what we have on here. I don't know why our page never wants to come up when I like. I don't know why. I'm just go on Instagram. That'll be faster. Let's see. All right. So for November, just so like looking ahead, we have Incidents Around the House by Josh Mallerman, An Embroidery of Souls by Ruby Martinez, and Lore of the Wilds by Annalise Sobrano. So
ooh, we got a good lineup.
Got a good lineup for November, and then we'll have a couple books in December, and then we'll be taking a little hiatus for the holidays, and then it'll be 2026.
Oof.
Another year.
It's flown by.
It has flown by. So, okay. Do you have anything else?
I don't think so.
Alrighty. We will talk to you guys next week.
Bye.
Bye.